I often interact with this Reddit, so I am not sure if my story is exactly on brand, but I am going to describe an encounter I had when I was 13. For context, I am 20, live in a smallish town in Lithuania, where I know most people at least by looks. One day, I was going to the local post office, which is a bit secluded and placed in between abandoned office buildings. It was a little before 8 p.m. and it was slowly getting dark, but most businesses were still open, including the post office. Just before taking the path which leads to the post office, I was walking past one of the abandoned office buildings when a man walked out from behind a corner and greeted me. He was about 60-65 years old and of pretty average height, but he was quite big and obviously pretty strong. He came up to me and started mumbling something about the weather, and I just reluctantly agreed, thinking it was just an awkward encounter. Then he walked closer and extended his hand. Pretty much entirely out of instinct, I shook his hand, but as I wanted to pull back, I realized he had me in an uncomfortably strong grip and he did not intend to let go. I winced in pain and immediately started protesting, but he completely ignored me and started talking casually about his life. He was telling me how he used to be a boxer or some kind of fighter and how he used to crush his opponents. Then went into intense detail of their injuries. He was gripping my hand harder and harder and even started holding my arm with his other hand. It was pretty painful, and the stories he was telling me felt like a threat under these circumstances. When I saw I couldn't do anything against the man twice my size, I simply listened to his stories and tried to act as normal as possible, even smiling along with his creepy anecdotes. This weird conversation went on for about 5-10 minutes, during which I was contemplating just screaming for help. Suddenly, in the middle of one of his gruesome stories, he paused, just let go off my hand and said see you soon, and then proceeded to turn around and leave. After that, I went to the post office where I called my mom and waited for her to pick me up as I was due. Shook up to return on foot. My hand was bleeding slightly because he produced so much pressure with the fingernail of his thumb. This encounter really creeped me out at the time, but the silver lining is that I never saw him since. I am almost certain he wasn't some crazy hobo, since I have been living in this town since birth and I've encountered every homeless person multiple times. I also doubt he even lived in the town, as I have never seen him before or since this event. It's been more than 7 years since this weird encounter happened, and while I was uncomfortable with going to the post office for a while, I'm honestly over it now. Thinking back, it seems like the man was quite crazy and very desperate to talk to someone. It seemed like he calmed down when I started listening to his stories, almost like all he wanted was for someone to listen to him.